Hello everybody, Karen Ricks, head chef here at our kitchen classroom, and it is a beautiful, bright and sunny morning here in Queensland, Australia. The rainbow lorikeets have been chirping right outside the window there, and I almost caught a couple of cackling kookaburras right there. I swear they're laughing at me because they know I'm trying to catch them. I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna get them. Anyway, I have got a hot cup of my favorite Yorkshire tea, and I want to just chit-chat with you for a moment. Tell a story. Won't you come and join me? I love a good hot cup of tea, and I love a good long book. Oh, I could curl up with a mug of tea and a long book and just disappear for hours. Oh, it's so much fun to get lost in a story. And I love reading all sorts of different things. Science fiction, romance novels, fantasy, even horror, all sorts of things. But some of the stories that really just capture my heart the most are nonfiction stories. You know, the true stories of someone who has overcome adversity and worked hard and achieved her dreams. You know, it's the stuff of a Hollywood movie. Those are great stories. And when we opened up our school, the International Academy of Matsumoto in Japan in 2011, we stocked the bookshelves with all sorts of stories. We had story time every single day, and it was such a joy to be able to crack open a new book, have the children curl up on the cushions around me in the reading corner, and tell them a story. Oh, these stories were like a gateway, opening up new corners of their imagination. The stories had the chance to give them new vocabulary, to introduce concepts that they hadn't considered before. We talked about languages, and cultures, and different traditional celebrations from every corner of the globe. And we would just have a lot of fun. And we'd had story time, several times a day. And of course the books were always there, scattered all around the room and eventually overflowing into all corners of our house and our office as well. So that any time one of the children in the classroom wanted to go and pull a book off the shelf, they were welcome to do that, to open up a book and disappear into a new story. Now, stories teach us a lot of different things. And one of the things that I noticed as we were running our school was that I was hearing very interesting stories from other parents and people in the community. But these were a different kind of story. This was a story that said, young children can't, and then you fill in the blank. Young children can't go to a school that's taught in English when they're in Japan because they won't understand anything that's going on. How are they going to learn? Young children can't possibly study subjects like history and geography and language and cultures, world cultures and math. I mean, come on. Basic addition and subtraction, okay, maybe, but multiplication, division, long division, algebra, no. Young children can't do that. Young children cannot possibly prepare their own lunch. They just can't do that. And so you know what? I became a camera-toting fanatic in order to document the instances of children doing exactly that in our school so that I could show those parents, not just the parents of the children who were attending our school, but parents and other naysayers all around our community, that they could, in fact, do everything that people were saying they couldn't do. And seriously, I was really a camera-toting fanatic. I took pictures all the time. And it was really helpful for me in terms of documenting the different ways in which the children were interacting with the learning materials in the classroom environment, the way in which they were interacting with each other, all of the lessons that they were doing, all the things that they were learning, all the ways in which they were showing me, showing the world that maybe they couldn't do it yet, but the word can't was not a part of their vocabulary. They just needed the opportunity to try. And the more opportunities I had to share those pictures, to share those stories, the more I realized that these are things that the world needs to hear. And telling these stories really started to make me consider some of the stories that I had been telling myself. Stories like, I couldn't possibly move to Japan from the United States. I mean, I was an American who didn't know anybody in Japan. I didn't have a job in Japan. I didn't speak Japanese. Couldn't read or write or understand Japanese. Can't do that. Guess what? That was a story too. And that story wasn't true. You can't start a business as a married woman over the age of 30. You can't start a business when you have a small child. No, can't do that. It's just not possible. Our school was living proof of that. We opened the school. Our doors opened when my son was just 4 months old. You can't travel when you have a small child. You just can't do that. No, it's not possible. That too was a story. And I have to say thank you right now to Vernon and Gabriella Lindsay of lavidalindsay.com. Those two were brave enough and bold enough to share their story of selling it all and moving from the United States to Mexico with not one, not two, but 3 small children under the age of 6 years old. And they are living the dream. And I am so thankful for adventurous parents like that who are sharing their story to help other people see that the stories that they've been telling themselves about the things that are just not possible, those stories aren't true. The more and more I hear these stories, the more I realize that it is my responsibility as a wife, as a mother, as a parent, as a teacher, to ensure that the stories that my child is hearing are not stories that say you can't, but stories that say, yes, you can. The stories that we tell ourselves have the power to really and truly shape not just our outward perspective on the world, but our actions, the very things that we do that keep us grounded in right now, what we can perceive as possible, instead of helping us break through to things that we could only imagine are really possible. And so now I am on a mission to tell new kinds of stories, not just the stories that I thought I wanted to hear, but some of the stories that I know my son needs to hear. And not just my son, but children all over the world. Children who look like him, who look like me, who don't see representatives that look like them in those big splashy Hollywood movies that say, yes, you can. I am on a mission to make sure that each and every single day, the life that I am living tells a new story of unimagined possibilities that says, yes, it is possible. You can do those things. You can live your dreams. What stories have you been telling yourself? Are they really true? Are those stories serving you? Are they helping you to live your best life, to realize and achieve your dreams? The work that we do here in our kitchen classroom, it's about so much more than just cooking. It's about demonstrating in a very tangible way each and every single day that the stories we tell ourselves, the things that we do, that we create, with our own hands, in our own minds, can bring to life unimagined possibilities. All we need to do is take that first step and give it a try. Are you willing to do that? Then come and join me here at ourkitchenclassroom.com, and let's create new stories of fantastic possibilities. I'll see you on the other side.